Give evidence in a murder trial implicating Dennis Weaver.
You don't deliver! I'll kill your daughter first, and then I'll come for you!
You seem all right.
I'm impressed, Philip. I couldn't help but wonder if you were pulling my chain.
You asked me to find you the address of the safe house. I found you the address of the safe house.
Never could trust a copper. Not 100%.
Yeah, but you got my daughter to hold over me.
Well, that was the $64,000 question, wasn't it? Do you really care about her? Do you really give a stuff about anybody else?
Yeah, well, now you know.
Kerry, how are you today?
I'm okay. You haven't told anyone, have you?
You being raped is hardly gossip material. Have you decided what you're going to do?
No. My head's in a complete mess.
Well, maybe I can help. You and me are going for a drink after work, okay?
Okay.
You ready to do this? He's just been standing in the window. Next time he appears, take him out.
Keep away from the window.
I need to get out of here. I need to get some fresh air.
Yeah, well, the only thing you'll get is a bullet through the head.
And could I have your driving licence, please, Mr. Dutton?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, but it's just new card, and you've still got to have this damn great paper thing.
Plan is to have all your info on the barcode at some point.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Easy for you guys when Burks like me praying into a parked car. Oh, I tell you, I'm just glad no one was hurt.
Right, well, I won't keep you a moment. I just need to make a few copies.
Sure.
If you just bear with me a minute, Mr. Dutton. How's the new Gov?
Look, you know, I can't say. We're doing our best to look after him.
What are you doing?
Look, what's the issue date?
1979.
With a date of birth of 1967. So according to this, he passed his test when he was 12. I've got to check something out.
Polly!
Ladies, I need some help with George Watt over there, who was arrested for shoplifting a couple of bottles of single malt from the Handy Mart.
She's got good taste.
He was uncooperative at first, refused to give us his name, but his memory suddenly came back when he realised he was going to miss his favourite quiz show. So I would like him out of here and back at the retirement home. All right?
Kerry. Hello? I'm PC Hemingway. You got your coat? You've pulled.
We can't talk now.
We need to.
Okay, well, let's go for a drink tomorrow night, just the two of us.
You promise you're going to turn up this time?
Cameron, the DCI wants us upstairs sharpish. Now!
Sorry about this, just need a few more details. Right, we'll be a bit more comfortable in there. The vehicle you hit was parked, wasn't it?
Look, I'm not challenging the fact I was in the wrong. As I said before, I'm just glad no one was hurt.
Your friend, Nick Klein.
He's no friend of mine.
So I gathered. What is it with him?
What?
Wanted to testify in this murder trial. Is it unbelievable bravery, or is he just plain thick? Perhaps it's the drugs addled his brain.
He's a copper, all right? He's just doing his duty.
Oh, like you?
You put me in an impossible position, Dennis, and you know it.
Oh, yeah. The lovely Madison. Apple of Phil's eye. You must have spent, what, all of 2 days in her company?
She's still my daughter.
You made me look a fool.
Look, I didn't mean to. It was just a bit of a laugh.
Sleeping with my wife behind my back. You were meant to be a mate.
If it's any consolation, I paid the price, all right? Cindy has walked out. I don't know where my daughter is.
You haven't got the bottle to bring up a kiddie. Yeah, what's the hold-up? The second he appears, you make sure you don't miss.
Stealing, was it?
You'll have to ask George.
What I don't get is the stuff he was trying to steal.
The whiskey?
George is a Baptist and has always been teetotal.
Maybe you realise what you've been missing all these years, eh? You behave yourself now, George, OK?
I don't want to stay here.
Well, you're home now, and you're safe.
He'll be all right. Once he's had a nice cup of tea. Hey, George.
Now, you mentioned that you lived outside London before moving to your current address.
All you've done is ask more and more questions. And what's going on?
Oh, it's just all the red tape that has to be ploughed through.
I want to go.
No, take a seat, Mr. Dutton. We can rattle through this quicker. Come on, sit down. No, Mr. Dutton, I haven't finished yet, have I?
Hey! What the hell's going on?
Sorry about that, bursting.
What was that? It's coming from upstairs.
Please!
George?
Help me!
Should we get a key?
I want to come out.
George!
I wanted a kiddie, so when little Madison came along...
I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
When did you find out?
When Christine fell pregnant. I mean, she claimed the baby was yours, so we called it a day, but in my heart, I really knew the kid was mine. But I walked.
And you were long gone. Me and my family were happy. Till Klein came along and decided to dig it all up. I'll tell you what, Phil, if ever a bloke had it coming.
All right, George, nearly there. Come on.
This cupboard's hardly ever used. It's always kept locked.
It's all right. It's all right, George. You're safe now.
Can this door only be locked from the outside?
What changed, Dennis?
What do you mean?
Well, fixing a few fights, breaking a few legs. I mean, you were a naughty boy, but murder?
I've been through a dark time, thanks to you.
Now, you can't pin Brendan Bailey's murder on me.
You sure you're not wearing a wire? No. Not even you could be that dumb. Bailey was seeing my goddaughter. It turns out he'd raped and murdered a couple of girls with a spit of her.
There's more to it than that.
He knew too much. He was trying to put one over on me. He had to be rubbed out.
Like Nick Klein?
Yeah, exactly like the good PC. But after this, it's all over. No more hairy stuff. I'm going to get Christine back and we're going to be a family again.
You beat her up?
Christine broke the rules. She had to be punished. She understands that.
Yeah, and Madison? What, you really think you can bring her up as your own?
You and Christine had a couple of quickies. I was there when Madison was born. I held her in my arms.
What, and this threat, you know, to harm her, was that all bull?
Yeah, I could never harm that kiddie. Not a hair on her head. You, on the other end.
Listen, I gave you Nick Klein. Right, I've risked my career for sweet FA.
Get us another drink, Philip. We'll drink a toast to your mate, Nick Klein. Give him a proper send-off. That's a good boy.
But his driving licence was clearly fake. And when I cross-referenced his ID and car in BIU, well, I thought it was worth pursuing.
So why didn't you inform an officer and let them deal with it?
Everyone was busy. I couldn't just let him walk away, could I?
Polly, in case you hadn't noticed, you're not a copper anymore.
Tick-tock. Tick-tock. Amazing to think someone can be alive one moment and the next minute, bang, they're dead.
Look, can I get off now?
I need you to stay here till it's done. Make conversation. Tell me why you became a copper.
Well, round my way, there were two career choices. Joining the police seemed like an easy way of staying out of jail.
You got any family?
Got a little brother who's just graduated from university.
You must be proud.
He's at Hendon. The silly little prat's only joining the force.
Looks up to his big brother, does he?
Nah. He's a man on a mission. He's got this thing about justice. His best mate was gunned down. He held him while he died. See, it changed him.
Where we agreed. Yeah.
Is it done?
Nick Klein's on his way to the morgue.
Perhaps you should call the doctor, Mr. Oldfield, to give him the once-over.
Yes, of course. I don't understand how this could happen.
Or someone locked him in the cupboard.
Who has a key for it?
I do.
And who else?
No one.
Drink up. We're leaving.
We? Our business is done, isn't it?
Oh, not quite yet. You're driving.
I know how to nick people, Tony. The licence is definitely fake. His other documents, his insurance, well, they all seemed in order. So I did some checking and I linked his car type and Dutton's ID to an assault involving an unlicensed cab.
Anything else I should know?
Well, I've told June everything, but I feel so bloody useless.
You're still part of the team, Bob.
Yeah, right. Kathy made sure the only thing I am round here is a joke. I just want to go home.
Right, whatever happens, you stay here, right? You hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah. Come over the bridge. No, it's not a change of plan.
Did someone put you in the cupboard, George? How about these bruises on your arm? Who gave you the bruises?
I want to go to the toilet.
Look, anything you tell me is confidential. You know, if you're scared...
Just because I'm an old man doesn't mean I'm a coward. I'm fine. Just leave me alone.
Everything going to plan?
Like clockwork. Get in.
What's happening?
Just drive.
They're driving away. Let's get him. All units, go, go, go.
So why didn't you give the hitman the money? He killed Nick Klein, didn't he? So why double-cross him?
Does that answer your question? I've been set up.
Look, I swear on Madison's life.
If you set me up, Hunter, you're a dead man.
Stay in front of him. Push him over. Get him over. Stay in front of him. Come on. Make a right.
What the... That was no accident.
Yeah, okay. Keep me informed.
Weaver didn't hand over the money.
Right. Well, the blood looks real enough. They should have nicked Weaver by now.
Sherman. Right. I'll wait till you call me again.
What?
There's been a problem.
John Oldfield.
Not about him.
Some old guy, Larry Thompson, made an allegation about him several years ago. Oldfield used to manage a retirement home in Nottingham. It says in this report that Oldfield abused him.
Well, was there a full investigation?
No, no one backed him up. Apparently, Larry wet himself and Oldfield made him strip, locked him in his room till the next day.
So he got away with it?
Yeah. It's so frustrating. It's the same old story. A witness not willing to see an allegation through.
That's a bit black and white. It's not always that simple, is it? It can be frightening.
I wasn't too hard on Polly this morning. You do appreciate that, don't you?
Absolutely, Sarge. It's just I think that Polly rushed back to Sunhill without thinking things through. Maybe someone should have sat her down and talked to her before she signed up for the job.
Let me know if you make any progress on that, won't you?
Here we go. Sarge!
Yeah?
Thought the bloke looked ill.
Where were you on the night of January the 9th?
Can you prove where you were?
You ever worked as a taxi driver?
No. But you do drive a red Astra Estate.
You know I do.
We've got a witness who said that she was assaulted by a man claiming to be a taxi driver with your car registration.
This is ridiculous.
Why have you got a forged driving licence? What's there to hide?
Well, nothing. Well, you've got to believe me.
Well, at the moment, Paul, we don't. And if we can get some forensic evidence from your car...
Look, I've never hurt anyone. And I've never pretended to be a taxi driver. I had a stupid car crash. That's all. I'm Paul Dutton.
That's not possible, Paul. The man you're claiming to be died several months ago.
I run this place, Polton, not you. Remember that. Back again?
Yeah, we just want to have another quick word.
Certainly.
What was going on there?
Oh, Bob Polton. He's one of the moaning brigade. Nothing's ever right for him.
George Watts has got some bruising to his arms. Is he part of the moaning brigade as well?
What are you suggesting? Look, I run a very good business here.
A business?
Yes, a business. The business of looking after people and making sure they're comfortable and happy. I don't like what you're inferring with these questions.
You used to manage a council-run home on Enders Lane. Anything we should know about your time there?
Is that still on record? I was never charged with anything. The whole thing was a load of rubbish.
Formal allegation was made against you?
Yes, by some stroppy old sod who wanted to make my life hell.
Well, you won't mind if we have a word with some of the residents, then.
Make a left there. Give me the keys. Get out of the car. Round the back. Open it. Give me handcuffs. Put them on. Now get in.
I didn't do the dirty on you, Dennis. I gave you the address that you asked me for.
Right. What are you going to do now, Philip? Arrest me? Call for backup?
Put that down, Dennis, or I will shoot you.
Oh, you're not going to do that. We both know you can't do that.
Did you want to watch me?
The gun's not loaded, Philip. But you knew that already, didn't you? This just confirmed it. You've been taking me for a ride.
What are you talking about?
The Polaroid's not real. It's a fake. Your mate's cut some sort of deal with my hired gun. Tried to catch me handing over the cash. But they couldn't trust him. Not with a loaded gun. Oh, you're good, Philip. Very good. But you couldn't fool an old pro like me.
You're a dead man, Hunter! I'm gonna track you down, and I'm gonna kill you!
Door? Are you okay? It's just I get this feeling there's something on your mind.
Back off, Yvonne.
Is it Cameron? Look, the man's mad about you. If you've had a little tiff, I'm sure it'll all just blow over.
This has got nothing to do with Cameron, all right? Cameron is like the sweetest, gentlest guy ever. That is what's making this all worse.
What worse? Look, what's happened? Look, if it's not Cameron, who is it?
Yvonne, will you just...
Well, you've got to talk to somebody, whatever it is. You can't go on bottling it up.
I can't tell you, all right? I just can't.
Where are you, Hunter? I'll find you, and then I'm gonna kill you. And when I finish with you, I'm gonna kill your little druggy friend. You hear me?
I was a nobody at school. Nice enough. Had a couple of good mates. And then I started going out with this really nice boy. Till my cousin Michelle nicked him off me. Didn't know what I wanted to do when I left school. Get a job in a shop. Sounded dead boring. And then we had this talk from this copper. My feet didn't touch. I was a completely different person as soon as I put on that uniform. Not that I went power mad or anything like that. Just that I had authority. People listened to what I said, even asked my advice. PC Polly Page. I always liked the sound of that. And it all started to go wrong a few years back. I should never have went out with Dave Quinnan. Never should have taken those pills. I knew when I came back to Sunnhill I was hanging on by my fingertips. It might have been all right. I might have made it through. Become the proper PC Polly Page again. If I'd never set eyes on you.
Anyone with him?
Just the paramedics.
You might want to wait downstairs then. Who did this? Unless you tell us who did this, we can't help you.
Did you see who did it?
I'm not sure.
Has this got anything to do with Oldfield?
You can't lead him like that.
If he's scared, he needs to know we'll believe him.
Perhaps you should step back a bit, yeah?
What's that supposed to mean?
You're obviously upset about something. Maybe you need some time out.
Oh, I think it was Mr. Oldfield. It was dark, but I'm pretty sure it was him.
How sure?
He's sure.
Everyone else seems to have accepted it. Kathy's a psycho, a loon, and that's the end of it. Do you know Brandon resigned? Threw in his career. And me, because of what you did, what you said, I can't be a copper anymore.
You passed Owen the syringe.
Yeah, and I would have come clean straight away. I would never have covered it up.
And that admission, that you passed the syringe to a man hell-bent on suicide, meant you could never serve as a police officer again. No matter what I said or did. So don't come here trying to blame me for your difficulties. Murder trial, your imprisonment, I admit I played my part. But it's not my fault you'll never be a copper again.
That's it. That's the car.
Sierra Oscar from 5-4. We found the suspect vehicle. It's off Nansdown Road. in North Canley Woods. We're requesting backup to carry out a search, over.
5-4 from Sierra Oscar.
There's no sign of him.
Come.
Sir, uniform of found Weaver's car near North Canley Woods. There's no sign of Weaver and no sign of Phil.
This was supposed to be a simple sting.
Well, the theory was sound. That points to the fact that...
The hitman either did or said something that alerted Weaver to a problem.
He's with MIT. Apparently he's gone very quiet.
Make sure we get plenty of manpower up by those woods.
Well, if Weaver knows that Phil set him up, we could be looking for a body.
It also means Nick Klein's right back in the firing line.
Why are you here? Could hardly be out of concern.
Didn't know where else to go. Maybe seeing you. Put my thoughts in order. Sort out who I am. Where I'm going.
I'm the last person that could help you with something like that. I am sorry, you know. Really sorry for all the terrible things I've done. But they won't listen to me. I know I've done wrong. I don't want to stand trial, Polly. I want to pay for all the evil and the pain I've caused. But they say I'm not fit.
They're professionals. They know what they're talking about.
I want to plead guilty. I want to stand in that dock and admit to all my crime. It's so unfair.
No, I promised myself. I promised myself I wasn't going to feel sorry for you.
Do you know the whole story? Have they told you what happened to me when I was a child? How I was abducted. They called him the teacher because of the marks he left on children's skin with a fountain pen. I was lucky to come out alive. Did they tell you that?
This is ridiculous.
We saw you having words with him earlier.
I have words with lots of my residents. That doesn't mean I go around hitting them.
Can anyone account for where you were at the time Mr. Polton was assaulted?
I was in my office.
Anyone with you?
No.
People trust you to run this place properly, to look after the residents.
And I do.
Did you assault Bob Polton?
George, you all right?
It was me. I hit Bob. I didn't think it was worth running. I wouldn't have got far.
Why did you hit him?
Mr. Oldfield had nothing to do with it.
Who locked you in the cupboard, George?
Bob.
Why?
I knew I was in for it when I got caught in the supermarket.
Were you stealing for Bob?
When I didn't come back with his whiskey, he locked me in that cupboard.
Why didn't you tell us?
Haven't you ever been scared? He's a bully. And with me, he always has to have a little dig. He made my life hell. I just had enough of it, I suppose. 76 years, and I've never been in trouble. And now, I've been nicked by the old Bill twice in one day.
Perhaps you're a late developer, eh, George?
Weaver's gone missing, with Phil Hunter.
What about the hit?
Weaver didn't hand over the cash. It looks like he was tipped off.
I better arrange a move. Get you well away from London.
That's it. My life as Nick Klein is over.
No, I knew I had problems. Knew I had to connect. I tried to do something about it. What? I joined the police. I was like you, Polly. I thought it would give me a new identity. The connections I wanted. I read it in the newspaper, then I had an interview with a female DCI from the Met. She said the Metropolitan Police are like a family. You've heard that, haven't you?
I used to believe it.
And how's that family, our family, looked after you?
Well...
Has it looked after me? No, it hasn't. I was crying out for help. That's why it's called a cry for help. Only my so-called family come to my aid. I was alone. Lost and alone. And you let me down. All of you. My police family.
Have you talked to anyone here about this?
Of course I have. They don't understand like another copper.
Only I'm not a copper anymore.
I'm not talking about you. I was discussing it with the DCI yesterday.
You've seen the DCI?
Of course. He was here for hours.
What for?
Well, it's none of your business. You're not in the police anymore.
Right, so it was an official visit, was it?
A police matter, yes. Mr. Meadows comes to see me once a week.
I didn't think it would come to this. Sir, I knew what I was doing, but I didn't think it would come to this.
We will find him, Nick.
Please, don't. No more false hopes. So what happens now, then?
You'll be moved tonight. A member of the Witness Protection Unit will speak to you about your new identity. You'll be given a new bank account, driving license, passport.
Name?
We have a duty of care to you. It's the only way.
Will my mum and dad know my new name?
You'd be placing them and you at risk. We need to close off all avenues.
And, well, I can't see him before I go, no. All my life they've been there for me. Especially through the drugs. It almost killed them, never mind me. They thought they'd lost their son, but they have now. My dad's got problems with his angina. He's got an appointment at the hospital.
I'll keep an eye on that.
And it's my mum's 50th. We were planning a big party.
And you'll be the guest of honour. If Weaver's behind bars.
If.
Ah, Tony. The fingerprint results.
Well, this changes things. Right, back to the interview room.
Shall I join you?
After you, Paul. Shall I say Richard?
Can you give this to my parents, please, sir? I mean, it doesn't even scratch the surface, but it's something.
They'll be pleased to have it.
Yeah.
There are other things I need to take from you. Your warrant card, key to your locker.
I'm being protected. Wrapped in cotton wool. So why am I so bloody petrified? I'm losing everything that's kept me on the straight and narrow. My family, my friends and my work.
You won't be alone.
Yes, I will. Because until you've come off crack cocaine and used your job as a crutch, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about, sir. You gave me everything I needed. Focus, discipline and a great group of friends.
You'll have support. There'll be people to help you. And I know you don't want to hear this, but we will catch Weaver. You've got to stop thinking about this situation in terms of forever.
That's exactly what I've got to do. I mean, what's the point in kidding myself? You won't see me back at Sunhill. Not on the streets, and not as a copper.
You don't know that.
It's been a journey. But this is the end of the road, sir. I used my job to replace the drugs. I'm scared, sir, but at the same time I know it's right. I've got to start again. And I've got to leave the addict behind.
Stop! So, it's Richard Harker, who went missing in January of this year.
It's Rick Harker, and it's no crime to disappear.
Medical student. Last seen leaving a party drunk.
Well, like you never have.
No, I ain't £40,000 in bank loans and credit cards, I haven't.
I just failed my exams for the third time. I thought enough was enough.
And you disappear, you reinvent yourself as Paul Dutton.
Everything was getting out of control. It was easy to run away. I swear, though, I know nothing about the assault.
Well, it's difficult for us to know what to believe now.
Well, you said the assault happened in January? I was more worried that you'd find out about the fact that I was still Rick at that time. But I've got an alibi for then. What happens now?
We can contact your family for you.
No, I mean, am I free to go?
Once we've established your alibi.
Well, I haven't broken any laws, have I, by changing my name? And the debt thing, that's a civil matter.
True. But Richard Harker is banned from driving due to a drink-drive charge. And unless you've forgotten, we are still investigating an assault.
How are you feeling?
Sore.
No pangs of guilt about not coming to us sooner? You know, if I'd have had more time...
Yeah, the hitman would have still screwed us over.
Have you got proof?
You gave the hitman an empty magazine. Therefore, Weaver was expecting to see 6 bullet wounds on the Polaroid. You gave him 3. But I guess the guy banged up at MIT didn't give you that little gem.
Do you think he's left the country?
It's possible.
So all this was for nothing?
Listen, where's Nick now?
He's about to say some permanent goodbyes.
Because there's one other thing. Weaver swore he wouldn't let it go with Nick, that he would get him whatever happened. And before you say anything, I'm not going into hiding. I'm staying put till Weaver's caught, and I want to be the one that slaps on the cuffs.
Well, you don't have to accept protection.
Yeah, well, don't try. This is personal. Now, he wants Nick dead, and one way or another, he's not going to stop until that happens.
I'm in this place undercover. You won't believe what goes on here. It's all about drugs and money. And there's abuse too. I'm in the middle of a very sensitive operation. Superintendent Caro and Mr. Meadows chose me. Thought I had the perfect background and appropriate skills. I make detailed reports of all the patients and staff. DCI reckons we're only days away from a breakthrough. I can't tell you much about it because you're not in the police anymore, but it's going to be big. Mr. Meadows thinks I'll get commendation. At the very least.
I really better be going.
Okay. You tell him I couldn't tell you much. They better send a more senior officer.
Goodbye, Kathy.
Goodbye, Polly. I did them a favour, you know.
Who?
Max and Tanya. I did them a favour by killing them. I did them a favour. I stopped them from sinning again. On the day of judgment, they'll thank me. I stopped them from sinning, fornicating, all the vile practices. They'll thank me on the way to heaven when I'm on the way to hell.
You buying them, Paul?
It depends how many turn up.
That fool's licence helped us find the bloke responsible for the taxi assault.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we traced the name of the bloke who bought the car.
And he's got form for assault.
Quite simple, Ian. See? You are part of the team.
Come on, I'll buy you a drink.
How did Nick take it?
Isn't it obvious? He's about to leave his whole life behind.
Listen, I need to see him before he goes.
I didn't think you two got on.
I just need to square things up.
All right. 5 minutes, Ray Yard.
Sergeant Smith. Sir.
Nick Klein's going into witness protection. I want one of the relief to come and see him off. If you could find one of his friends.
Sir. If it's all the same, sir, I wouldn't mind doing that myself.
Okay. Give us a couple of minutes.
Listen up, everyone. Attention, please. Right, I can see there's enough of you here, so I'll get on with it. I've got something to say.
What, you going to buy us all a drink?
Hey! And now that would be worth announcing.
Oi. I've resigned from my job. I'm leaving Sunhill.
What's going on?
Nick?
to talk to you. A lot of this is my fault.
I'd say most of it. You were the one that got me involved with Weaver.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm sorry for how it's turned out.
So am I meant to shake your hand and say no hard feelings?
I'm an idiot, but not enough of one to expect that. I just wanted to say sorry, and for you to hear it.
So what happened today, then?
Weaver's good. He's too good. But not the next time.
If I had a pound for
You're going to be fine. I wish I was going off the pastures now. You imagine all these women you've yet to meet.
You want to take a very good look at yourself. Because, Phil, well, you might not like what you see. Thank you for everything, sir. Good luck. We'll all be thinking of you. Nick. I know we've never been best mates. We've had our moments. I reckon I'm losing one of the best coppers on the relief. No, I've had more than my doubts about you. I thought you were a junky waste of space. But you've proved me wrong. There's a compliment in here somewhere. Dealing with addicts, I know how hard it is to get off that stuff. And I admire you for that. And I admire the way that you stood up to everyone. And you came back and you got on with the job. Thank you. So what I'm trying to say is that of all the coppers that I know, you have the strength of character to get through this. I appreciate that, Sarge.
We've got to go right now.
Just wishing him good luck.
Remember to keep your head down.
Well, I think Polly's made the right decision personally. Get rid of all that baggage, fresh start and all that.
Yeah, she's gonna miss her friends, though.
Yeah, you do get pretty close to people in this job. Speaking of which, Paul Cameron.
What?
Well, cosy chats tonight with Gabriel, and the other night I left Kerry in the pub with Smithy. They made me feel like a right old gooseberry. You know, I wish that girl would make up her mind. Talk about greedy.
Yeah, but this is all my fault.
Don't be ridiculous. You're not responsible for what that monster did to you. Smithy's to blame.
How can I ever tell Cameron? He wouldn't even believe me. It'd destroy him.
It would destroy any man.
I can't do it.
Then don't.
None of this has got anything to do with what happened between us today, has it?
No, not in the way you think.
I mean, because I was just being a sergeant, you know, I wasn't being personal.
Honestly, I'm not holding any grudges. In fact, you've helped me face the truth. I mean, I was living a half-life. I'm not a copper anymore. I need to move on. The only way I can do that is to get away from Sunny Hill.
Well, I mean, you know that we all wish you luck in whatever you decide to do.
Thanks, Sarge.
Come on, June.
Thanks, June.
There you go.
God, how many have you put in there?
Well, let's put it this way. You'll be needing a taxi home.
To lots of happy years at Sun Hill.
Look, sorry, can I just have a bit of quiet? I just want to say a few words. I think I speak for everyone when I say that Polly was one of the best police officers we've had at Sunhill. The thing about Polly is she cared. I mean, she cared about the job and she cared about the rest of the Nick. She's been a really good friend to me, to all of us. So here's to Polly.
Polly.
Thanks.
Nice speech, Paul. Nice speech.
I feel like I've just woken up after a nightmare. Not working with you lot or being a copper, but these last few months. So I can't be a copper anymore, and that's nobody's fault, only my own. I passed Owen the syringe. I assisted his suicide. And you know what? I'm glad I did it. Because it was the right thing to do. So I'm going to move on, get myself a new life and carry on doing the right thing. But I'll miss you. You've been my family these past 12 years. To Sunhill.
Sunhill.
Carrie?
Fine.
I think I know who's been upsetting you. It's Smithy, isn't it?
I was drunk. We kissed. I didn't want it to go any further.
And did it?
I said no, but he wouldn't stop.
Are you saying Smithy raped you?
Next time on The Bill.
I'm accusing a highly popular officer of being a date rapist. Who do you think is going to come out of this worse?
I'd have Smithy any day.
Is he all right?
Yeah.
I just heard a nasty story.